Hello and welcome back. If you if you are new to this channel, click on subscribe. We're not gonna make this a fancy video. We're just gonna focus on numbers and learning some cool stuff. Um, what this video is about giving you an update of what happened last week. And if you follow markets, you will understand that last week has been pretty bad. So let's dive right into it. Last week I had 10 positions on. We've trimmed three, and I've actually initiated one more at this time. So I've replaced one of those trades I've closed down. This would be ABT, Lululemon, and Abbott Industries. Uh, why did I close the other ones? Well, it's fairly, all of these down here actually. It's fairly self-explanatory. This one hit minus 10. According to my rules, I'll be closing that down as soon as that happens. I'm on a 3-to-1 ratio, so I want to win 30%, and I'm only surrendering 10% at a time. On this pair was a similar thing. It corrected a little bit, but it was 10. They've all done similar thing. As soon as it hits 10, I just get rid of it. And so it's been a turmoil in the market. Like I said, I've done a pretty bad job of timing the last trades. That was the issue with this. I'm going to be a little bit more careful moving forward. It's in the new year. It's a lot more volatility and whatnot, but it shouldn't affect my performance. It's just, it is what it is. So I closed down the losers, moving on with the winners and expanding the portfolio from there on. ZTS Taro. This one here, that was a minus 10. It continues to decline. As you can tell, this slope over here is not good according to my rules close. So I'm not afraid to close any of these because they're not really big losses. Like at this point in time, without minus 14%, this is at a mass. I mean, the most I'm losing is $100, but most of them not even close. So they're like 70 bucks each or whatever. This one here, 10%, and you can see how close to 100 bucks that is. And that's because I'm investing $950. If that was 500 bucks, that number would be $50 essentially is what I'm looking at, give or take a couple of bucks. This one here, today, I'm glad I got this one closed. I closed that last week and, steadily declined since then. And today was a really bad day. Today's move was, what was today's move? 8.90, like 9%. This month it's gone up 20 so far, so it's just a losing trade. It totally reversed, but I've closed it at minus 10, and I'm happy with that. And so back to the summary, we're currently at $77.53 floating. All those closures, they amounted to 373 bucks. Ouch. But which puts us at a profit of a negative 98 for last week. Not the greatest, not the greatest. Well, with today's move, it was like minus 100 bucks, let's call it. Not the greatest, but whatever. Portfolio didn't suffer much. I mean, $373 compared to what the market is losing is nothing. So I'm not really concerned with that at all. This is normal. Like I said, if I timed it properly, it would be either I wouldn't be closing any of these because those probably are good trades. That's why I keep them open over here. But I don't know. They all just look bad. It's abandoned ship. If I choose one out of these which has good price action, which I won't, I'm just closing down the whole thing, both long and short. And then that way it's said and done. I've lost the money, so what? Move on. It's when you're on a 3-to-1, it doesn't even matter because um, odds are in my favor. Like win three, lose one, win three, lose one. So we'll make it back. This is a system that works, and I'm confident in continuing with this series and show you exactly how it works. Timed wrong. This is why timing is really important. Now, with last week's market, the things in Kazakhstan, the things going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been on the decline ever since like what 3 months ago now. All the coins are sliding down. I have a few of those. I've been watching them wither away, but whatever. It's just another part of the portfolio. It's not 100% of my money. It's a small part. It's about 20% of it at this point in time. and then I manage my equities. But I've been watching Bitcoin. I've been watching all the alternative coins, and I've got my money in a few, but nothing in just one of them. It's all spread all over the place. Same with this portfolio. Currently, I got four trades on. Um, these are actually eight different companies. ACN against Zoom. Uh, these guys here, Cushman Wakefield against Itron. There's all kinds of different things, but what we're looking for on the sheet, the most important, is that this ratio here continues rising. That's the difference between the two prices. You're longing one and you're shorting the other, and you want the difference between them to grow. When it starts getting smaller, that's when you start, or when it starts falling, like this one actually did, but it's only at 4.82. They didn't do much today. S&P lost, what is it, zero point 0.6 of a percent. It started off the day with a negative two. Excuse me, let me just get something to drink. Hmm. And then it ended negative zero point 0.6. So with today's results, minus $4. It's relatively close, although the S&P 500 lost hundreds of dollars. Or for if anybody has their portfolio in it, their whole portfolio is the S&P. I'm sorry, but you're losing a lot of money. This is simply just not so because we're hedging. So we want the ratio, the spread or the distance between the two prices to constantly grow. As you can tell, this had a nice retraction, but you look at the last 4 months, there's a lot of up and down. And, this does look big, but if I looked back a couple of years, I bet you there's a couple of moves like just like this, and then, it recovers and keeps on going. Stock market, what is it going to do? Well, the stock market's going to keep on climbing. Um, if you look at the S&P for the last 4 months, here it is right here. I mean, it had small losses today. Ooh, actually today it did only negative 0.14. But, quarterly we're at 6.3%. This week it was a negative 2.5%. Whatever. What are the chances it's going to go up? Very high. The Fed's about to announce that they're raising the rates. We already know they're hawkish. So what do the equities do with that? Well, they rise again, right? So that's what we're expecting. And so today, the biggest winners were the shorts, and my longs are actually the losers for today. For obvious reasons, my shorts will make money when the market goes down, and my longs will make money when the market goes down. And there's my Abbott and Lululemon. The Lululemon, I got in at a interesting time. It jumped a little. I mean, I wish I had a little bit more of that stuff, but due to the size of my portfolio and the the beta ratio, I have to keep it small, and so as such, I am risking only $358 by buying one share. I should be to cover completely the long position. I should be putting in 507, but since that would be well more than 600 or $700, I'm keeping it down to one. I always round down to one. It's better to keep things smaller than bigger. This keeps also more capital open for making money with, right? And once again, I apologize for being awkward while talking about this, but my mind works in a weird way. Sometimes I start blabbing away, whatever. But I'm here to share, and if you see something in this that that you think could use some improvement, or maybe have a suggestion for me to do something a little bit differently, by all means, please do. This is why I'm putting this out here. Yes, it is something I'm trying to develop, and it's almost perfect in my mind, but maybe I'm just not seeing something. So let me know. So I think that would be just about it for the summary for today. I mean, I'm risking only 34 percent of my portfolio. Like I said, there's been a lot of movement in the markets, and it just a lot of things are happening with COVID and Kazakhstan and the Bitcoin mining there. Kazakhstan, as you know, has some of the cheapest electricity rates in the world, and most of the companies got their mining operations in that country because of that, because there are a lot of hydropower there, so it's cheap. And now with all the turmoil with the civil war at this point in time, I think you should call this, who knows what's going to happen next, right? So we've been on a slide. The Fed is raising the rates, and that pushes the the crypto down anyway. But we're not here to talk about crypto. We're here about stocks, talk about stocks. And what do I see for stocks? I see growth, and the rates will be going up. I see growth, so I think we're still going to go up. Not that it matters, because when you're hedged, none of this really matters. Like when you're hedging, the stock market can rally, and you're only going to make a little bit of a difference. You're not going to get that full gain of the market when the stock market rallies, because you're exposed to the long and you're exposed to the short. And so your short cancels out a lot of the profit. And so, but at the same time, it's your insurance against the inevitable crash, which will come at one point in time, right? Like an earthquake happens in Japan, and then the Nikkei goes crashing, right? Soon following that. Anything like that can happen, like a terrorist attack or anything like that, which would totally be unforeseen. But these things do happen, and they move the markets. So you got to be prepared for anything that you cannot see, essentially, right? Should correct that here. It's December 9. There we go. I get a nice calculation of 32. You see how this one's negative? That means that the reported date is actually outdated. So if I went into NASDAQ, and we're going to look up Lulu, which is the ticker, Lululemon Athletica. And now we're going to go down here and we're going to find earnings. And these guys are fairly good at posting the coming dates. And as you can tell, there's nothing in here. Lululemon announcement, it's just not there. Revenue earnings for fourth quarter. They've updated their expectations, but they haven't published when the next earnings are going to be. And so this is how you check back. See, my sheet over here, it actually automates that. It gets that from a different source. That's why you saw me correcting this. Sometimes the data comes in a little corrupted, but it comes in automatically. I'll update this. I can tell that something's wrong with it being gray. This shouldn't be negative until this is already expired, and that's why it's showing negative, because this is an older date. This is not future. This is in the past. But yeah, this pair here, Abbott Lulu, $8 so far after one day. So we'll see how it goes. I might be closing that one as well. You never know. But the financials, the only thing I don't like about this trade, honestly, is that Lulu, it's a fairly sound company. They're making money, but they're being affected. They're being affected by COVID, especially with like the latest measures being taken, restrictions. People are buying less, and they're just not going to shopping malls. So they've been hurt. They've been hurt by this. And yeah, I'm just taking them for a short ride, take some of that money, right? Um, all right, so I think that is it for today. It's just supposed to be an update where this thing is at to show you. Losses last week, quite a bit of losses. If I add all this up, I should have the actual amount, how much we've lost. Well, we've actually, that's not possible. Okay, so it's 10 minus 373. So we've lost $360. So it's negative $360. It's essentially this here. Not great, but not bad. And could it have been better? Yes, if my timing was a little bit better. I screwed up on that. Sorry. I We'll try to correct that this week. We'll try to find a few trades. And so the next video actually is going to be me picking a trade to go long and to go short. And we'll go through the entire process that I go through just to have a deeper understanding of how I go about this. And that you will find very interesting, I promise. All right. So anyway, for this week, that's where we're at. Losses of $360, and it's that so far. We'll see how it goes. See you on the next one. Peace.